Hello everyone and welcome to the another episode of World of Physics. Now in this video we are going to commence with a new chapter, that is the pressure measurement. Okay, in mechanical engineering pressure is a very vital role, and so we are going to study the chapter relating how the pressure is being measured. Okay, so let us start with the chapter, that is the pressure measurement. But before moving further, let us discuss few important points related to the pressure. So, as every one of you know, what is the pressure? So, in general, we define pressure as the ratio of force to the area. Okay, so the basic definition is like that. It is defined as the amount of force applied to the surface or distributed over it, and is measured as a force per unit area. So, pressure is directly varied with position, that is nothing but the depth within a static fluid. It is unaffected by the shape of a confining boundaries. As you all know, the unit of pressure is the Pascal, that is Newton upon meter square. Okay. Now, there are various types of pressure. As you can see on the figure above, you can see different pressures, that is barometric pressure, absolute pressure or a total pressure, absolute reference pressure, vacuum pressure, and standard atmospheric pressure, and none other than the gauge pressure. So over here we are going to study different types of pressure. Basically there are 4 to 5 different types of pressure, and we are going to discuss the definition of each and every type. So commencing with the first one, that is the absolute pressure. So absolute pressure is nothing but a reference pressure. There can be 2 reference pressures. One is a positive reference and another one is a vacuum pressure. Okay, so absolute zero pressure, absolute vacuum is also known as an absolute reference, and absolute pressure is a measure where we are making some reference. Okay, we are going to measure the some pressure or some value with respect to something, that is absolute pressure. Next comes the atmospheric pressure. Atmospheric pressure is nothing but the pressure of the atmosphere surrounding the Earth's environment. Okay, so whatever the air is there, you know that there is the atmospheric, that is known as the atmosphere surrounding the Earth. So the pressure of that atmosphere is known as the atmospheric pressure. Next is the gauge pressure, the pressure above the atmospheric pressure. Means the value of a pressure that is greater than the atmospheric pressure is known as a gauge pressure. Next is the vacuum pressure. Vacuum pressure is the pressure below the atmospheric pressure. Okay, so whatever the pressure is below the atmospheric pressure is known as a vacuum pressure. As you can see in the figure, standard atmospheric pressure line is there. Okay, so the pressure above is indicated as a gauge pressure and the pressure below is indicated as a vacuum pressure. And next is the total pressure, sum of a pressure in the system. Okay, that is nothing but the total pressure acting on the system. So these are the various types of pressure. Okay, now let's move further towards the measurement topic. But before that, we need to study again 2 types of pressure, that is the static pressure and dynamic pressure. So let us first of all discuss about static pressure. So when the fluid is in equilibrium, the pressure at a particular point is identical in all the direction and independent of orientation is known as a static pressure. Means it is talking about the condition which is at a rest and all the particles under the pressure are in equilibrium and are independent of any kind of a direction. The pressure acting on the system is a randomized. So such a kind of pressure is known as a static pressure. Now talking about dynamic pressure, means in this system the difference between the total pressure and static pressure is known as a dynamic pressure. As you can see in the equation, that is dynamic pressure is equals to total pressure minus static pressure. Now let's see further types of measuring device. Okay, so what are the various types of measuring devices for the pressure are available? So we are going to study the types of measuring device in this coming section. So first one is a mechanical system. So in mechanical there are basically two types. The pressure measurement is made by balancing an unknown pressure with a known force. So first one is a pure mechanical. In this you have to do some lot of experiment. In that, pressure measurement is achieved by balancing an unknown pressure with a known force. Okay. The second one is pressure measurement is made by employing a quantitative deformation of an elastic member. Means in that there is made some calibration. If certain pressure is applied, the tube will elongate this much amount of length or this much amount of angle will be bent. So depending on that how much amount of deformation is produced, we can say that this much amount of pressure is generated. We will see this in detail in Bourdon tube pressure gauge. Okay. Next is an electromechanical pressure measuring device. In electromechanical means mechanical means measuring of pressure, and electrical means an indicating or recording or detecting the pressure. Okay, so that was all about that. And the last one is electronic device. The instruments depend on some physical change which can be detected and indicated or recorded electronically. Okay, so there are basically semiconductor types of situations that electronical engineers used to convert some form of mechanical energy into some form of electrical pulses. So basically in that system transducers are used. Transducers are the device that converts one form of signal to the another form of signal, and thus the electronically measured pressure value is recorded and displayed. Okay, so as a part of mechanical engineer, we are going to discuss only mechanical system. Okay, so how does this mechanical system of measuring pressure device works? Okay, so basically there are two types. We are going to discuss both the types. Okay, so let's start with the first one, that is a very basic method of measuring the pressure. That is nothing but the piezometer. It is also known as a pressure tube. As you can see over here, a point A is at a center. The liquid is of density rho. The gravitational acceleration g is due to the gravity, and h is the rise of the liquid in the piezometer glass tube. As you can see, a vertical glass tube is there with the open end is there at the top, you can see. Okay, so piezometer is either a device used to measure liquid pressure in a system by measuring the height to which a column of liquid rises. Means whatever the difference in height is obtained, that is now converted into measuring the pressure against the gravity, or a device which measures the pressure. Okay, so more precisely a piezometric head. That whatever the height is obtained, we call it as a piezometric head. Okay, particularly this system is employed for the groundwater. Piezometer is designed to measure static pressure, and thus differs from a pitot tube by not being pointed into the fluid flow. Okay, so whatever it is, whatever the fluid is there in the pipe, that fluid is in stationary condition, not in a flowing condition. Okay, if it is in a flowing condition, the system is known as a pitot tube. Okay, you are going to study about more details of a pitot tube in the fluid mechanics chapter. Okay, whenever you are going to study for the higher semester. So basically now pressure measurement using this kind of a piezometer tube. If you see, if the pressure is considered in a cylindrical vessel, so P atm plus PA means P atmospheric pressure plus PA is the total pressure, and the piezometric head we call it as P atm pressure of the atmospheric plus GH. Okay, then they will be equal. Okay, due to which the overflow of a fluid does not takes place. Means if you see across the datum line, we talk about the point A, the total pressure at point A is nothing but PATM plus PA, which is equals to the pressure at the dark point, that is at the bottom of the you can see at the bottom of the tube, that is PATM plus gamma into H, where PA is the pressure at point A, where pressure is required to be measured in an open container, and gamma H is a specific weight of a fluid raised in the piezometric column. So by measuring how much amount of volume of liquid is there, multiplying that liquid with the density, multiplying that by density, you can directly calculate mgh. Okay, so by doing so, you can find out the pressure at point A. Okay, so this is all about piezometer tube. Okay, piezometer, or we call it as a pressure tube. Let us next discuss about a U-tube manometer. As you can see in the figure, there is one tube of a shape of a U bent is there. So as you can see, there are two figures. One is just before connecting the tube, means the manometric fluid, whatever the fluid indicator is there inside the tube. Basically we use mercury and some other liquid with a higher specific gravity. Okay, but whatever the fluid is there, it is in balanced position about the reference x-axis before connecting the tube to the system. Wherever in the pipe we need to find out the fluid inside the pressure of the fluid inside the tube. As you can see over here, PA is there. So before that connecting in a U-tube, the pressure difference will be same across it. Okay. Now when it is connected, the pressure in the P is higher compared to the atmospheric pressure. So it will exert some pressure on that manometric fluid as shown in the figure B, and there will be some rise in the manometric fluid height, that is indicated by the height H. And you can see the difference H1 and H2. So by calculating and evaluating that thing, we are going to find out the pressure inside the pipe A. So let us consider a pipe carrying a fluid, let us say for fluid 1 with specific gravity V1, and let a pressure PA to be measured at the point A in the pipe. Let the manometric fluid have the specific gravity nu2. As the U-tube manometer is connected to the pipe, the fluid 1 rushes into the U-tube and pushes the manometric fluid upward into the another limb of the U-tube, due to which the initial manometric fluid level as shown in the figure is disturbed and lowers in the left limb and rises up with a pressure head in the right limb of the U-tube, as I discussed earlier. Okay, so let the fluid 1 in pipe occupy the U-tube column in the left limb of the height H1. As you can see over here, there is a fluid 1, that was a fluid in the pipe, is now having the height H1, and let the manometric fluid in the U-tube has been raised to the height H2 into the right limb. Means fluid 1 with height H1 in the left limb, fluid 2 with height H2 into the left limb. Due to the push given by the fluid 1 onto the manometric fluid, the manometric fluid may overflow, but it does not happen due to the reason that the atmospheric pressure acts on the open end of the U-tube as shown in figure B. Because of the atmospheric pressure applying on this open end, so it will not overflow out, and also the manometric fluid is so selected that it does not overflow, or else the system will be in failure. Okay, so we have to give an appropriate height to the left limb column. Okay, so under the equilibrium, the pressure on the left limb of the U-tube must be equal to the pressure into the right limb. So PA into nu1 H1 is equals to PATM plus nu2 H2. So by knowing the specific gravity of that liquid, we can directly have manometric head H is equals to H2 S2 minus H1 S1, where S1 and S2 are the specific gravity of the liquids, fluid 1 and fluid 2. So this was all about the two system, that is the pressure tube and U-tube manometer.